So Honesty says, "Hi, my name is Honesty, and I was talking to my specific person the other day before yesterday, and then out of nowhere, his mom blocked me, and I just want to know how I can get her to accept me." My suggestion, Honesty, is to stop trying to get people to accept you. That's the best way that you can do it, right? You can communicate with someone, you can connect with someone, you can talk to somebody. But when you're trying to make somebody accept you, that is when somebody is least likely to accept you. And that's the truth in all situations. If you're trying to get a guy to accept you, that is the time when he's least likely to accept you. And instead, what you need to start doing is focusing on accepting yourself and caring for yourself and loving yourself and not worrying about whether people accept you or not. And just focus on building yourself to being the best version possible of you. If you're coming from a space of love, if you're coming from a space of feeling healthy and strong and like you value yourself and you care for yourself, and you come into situations where you're connecting with people and you're just talking to people and they are just freaking out on you and they don't want to accept you and they don't like you and all that kind of stuff, then that's fine, right? You're not trying to prove to somebody that you should be accepted by them, because that's not high value behavior, right? Somebody who believes that they're really valuable, they're not worried about whether the world accepts them, right? They don't need everybody in the world to accept them. And you're going to meet people, especially in families, right? Like it's one of those things. If a guy really loves his family and they're really important to him, which is possible, for instance, his mom, and she doesn't like you, I mean, there's only so much that you can do as long as you're being kind and you're connecting with her and you're bringing value to the conversation and you're not attacking, you're not doing crazy things, you're not, doing something really weird, you're not trying to prove yourself, you're not doing any of those kinds of things, and she's still not accepting you, then it's one of those things where you need to have a talk with him about that and find out what's going on. And if he's like, hey, it doesn't really matter, then that's fine. If he's like, hey, my mom needs to accept you, then that's another thing you need to think about, right? Like, how important is this? And it's one of those things where I know we talked the other day about the whole specific person thing, because we had somebody on our channel that talks a lot about specific persons. However, if you follow my systems and what I teach, I don't teach to put all your eggs in one basket. And the reason that I don't teach to do that is because you can get into a mindset of scarcity really, really easily. And if you're in a mindset of scarcity, you're going to try to force things to happen and manipulate things to happen and cajole and, whatever things to happen when you don't need them to happen, right? And if you are coming from a place of abundance where there's plenty of people, there's plenty of situations, there's plenty of men that you can get into a relationship with, and you know that deep in your soul, and you've experienced it, and you know that it's out there, and you're talking to other men, then all of a sudden it's not such a big deal if there's this weird, crazy situation over here, because that weird, crazy situation isn't the right situation for you to be in. And instead, you want to be in a healthy situation where a person loves you and they don't worry about what their family thinks. If their family's happy with you, that makes them happy. But if they're not, it's not about them, right? It's not about the family. It's about you and that other person. And it's important to try to get along with the family. But if the family doesn't want to get along with you, then it's something that, in my opinion, you should let go of.